You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast, and this is show number 535 for Sunday the 2nd of February 2025.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Well, Jane, it sounds like you're a bit sniffly, my love.
Yeah, I'm a little bit bummed up, so I shall soldier on though, Michelle. You know, as we do, as we women have to do. We can't give in to these things, can we? So
No.
pull me big girl pants up and get on with it.
You see, when we keep talking about catching a travel bug, we don't actually mean we've got a cold. We mean that we like holidays.
Yeah, the problem is with this is literally I've been away in Amsterdam for 4 or 5 days, and on the journey home on Monday, I just started with a bit of a dry cough. I didn't think much of it. Yeah, and it's turned into this. Never mind, onwards and upwards.
Well, it's the time of year where every ailment in the world is floating around. So all I can suggest is you stock up on that vitamin C and enjoy having a bit of a rest. And perhaps you might want to watch Traitors USA Season 3. Just saying.
Okay.
OMG. It is phenomenal. Amazing.
I haven't watched seasons 1 or 2 though.
Just watch 3.
Oh, okay.
And then you can go back because Alan Cummings is the host and it makes the English version seem tame. They're so cutthroat and ruthless because in the USA version, they have celebs that have, well, I use the word loosely, they have people that have been on other reality TV shows.
Oh,
So
okay,
there's
your
your Desperate Housewives of New Jersey or your Housewives of Deep Down Under. I don't know, I don't watch any of the shows. But they've got Selling Sunset characters on from that, or they've got Survivor, or they've got... It's just phenomenal. It really, really is. And I have been really enjoying feasting through the first 5, but now they've not released any more, so I'm like, I want to know what happens.
That's the only problem, isn't it? Though, that they get you in, they hook you in, and then you can't do anything about it, and then it's like, but you've stopped my little vice. What do I do now?
And I must admit, I am very, very into this sort of binge watching a whole season in a weekend type behaviour at the moment, which we all know is not very good for us mental health wise, but it's so good.
Yeah, but it's winter and it's cold and it's miserable out, so you know.
Yeah. I'm too much of a girly girl to sort of think I need to go outside in the wet and the cold and do a 2-mile walk. It can wait till spring because at the moment it's sitting on the sofa, keeping me old tootsies warm, watching some trashy TV and doing a bit of knitting. My life is simple. Oh, and in between all of that, I have my career and my job and all of that malarkey.
Yeah, whatever, eh?
Yeah, easy peasy. Anyway, we have some on this day in Disney history. And for us who delve into the Disney history books, you will know on the 2nd of February 1928, something quite sad happened. But a wrong has been righted because distributor Charles Mintz signed a new 3-year agreement with Universal Pictures to provide Oswald cartoons.
Ah.
Yeah, 1928.
I know, it's scary, isn't it? How long ago it was, but now we've kind of come full circle with it all.
Yeah. Something for you, Janie. On this day, 1955, which we all know 1955 is an important year.
A very important year, yes.
The Disneyland television series features the 1949 The Wind in the Willows, featuring Mr. Toad.
Mr. Toad. Oh, I was only watching a vlogger that I like to watch, and I saw the whole ride through of Mr. Toad at Disneyland this morning. So
Aww.
yeah, quite appropriate that one, Michelle.
1967, Roy O. Disney began talking about his late brother's plans to build a theme park and a futuristic metropolis, as we now know it, Epcot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very strange that the initial concept that was it was going to be the first glass-domed city in central Florida. How appropriate would a glass dome be on Epcot with the weather they've been experiencing of late?
Yeah, they might have quite welcomed that. Otherwise, it'd be a bit like a greenhouse normally, wouldn't it?
Well, we could put that special sort of film over it so that in the summer it deflects the heat, so it keeps everybody inside nice and okay, and then when it rains at 3 o'clock, it keeps everybody dry.
Yeah, I'm thinking like the Eden Project that we have in this country down in Cornwall. That's like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and the best bit is when you're drinking and eating around the world, you won't get soggy chips.
Or soggy anything, yeah.
Absolutely, because there's nothing worse than soggy shoes.
No.
Soggy shoes lead to blisters. Blisters lead to misery.
And therein lies the lesson for today from Michelle.
Absolutely. Don't wear soggy shoes. Oh, I did see some very, very funny pictures of people wearing plastic bags or these special shoe coverings that you can get that go up to your knees for wading through water. It was really funny.
I just remember getting caught in the rain in 1996, and I'd got on trainers that were like a suede sort of material. They were red. Guess what colour my feet were when I took them off when we got back to the hotel room?
Perhaps a shade of pink?
They're just a tad, yeah.
Oh, well, I don't have a 1996 piece of news to share with everybody, but I can take you to 4 years prior to 1992 and the very first phase of Walt Disney World's Dixie Landings Resort, the Alligator Bayou, opened at 1251 Dixie Drive, Lake Buena Vista.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite appropriate though, seeing as I'm staying at French Quarter later on this month, or well, no, next month, whenever. Yeah, March. Yeah, let's not get too confusing.
Yeah, time is all over the place at the moment. So yeah, that is my history for this week, and we have a few bits of news we are going to muse and chew through, and little bits of happenings and some features really for this week's show. And I was just sort of merging news and information because one thing I'd like to keep my finger on is the pulse on what is happening with regards to the Disability Access Scheme over at Walt Disney World in particular and Disneyland, because I do have people that I love and care about who have disabilities who have, since this new introduction of the scheme, have been denied access to the scheme and have since it's really impacted on their ability to use Disneyland, Walt Disney World and be able to go.
Yeah.
The wording used to say, DAS is intended to accommodate only those guests who, due to a developmental disability like autism or similar, are unable to wait in a conventional queue or for an extended period of time. They've removed that word only. So now it is, DAS is intended to accommodate those guests who, due to a developmental disability like autism or similar, are unable to wait in a conventional queue for an extended period of time. So it's very interesting they've taken that only bit out, because I think they were being sort of corralling people up and saying, no, you're not autistic, you're not having it. But there are people with conditions that really do need this access, and I think they'd gone from one extreme where virtually anyone who presented themselves at guest services and said XYZ got it, to the other extreme where people that they were intending to get this pass, who needed this pass, were being refused, and it was a small proportion of the populace who are now getting it.
Yeah, I think it was unfortunately in this day and age a classic case of the rules were changed because too many people were abusing the old rules, especially once Lightning Lane, etc. came in. Let's hope that by this slight amendment to the wording, it gives them a little bit more flexibility in how they apply. Because I think you're still going to have to have a video call, aren't you, to get your DAS approval 30 days out from when you visit, and that's still all the same, isn't it? So let's hope it's just giving those cast members a little bit more leniency into how they can allocate it.
Yeah, all crossed. So that was one piece of little news from me, but I gather you've got some very exciting news about Flower and Garden.
Well, yeah, because Flower and Garden is coming up, and I hadn't realised that I'm going to be there for Flower and Garden. Yay!
Yay!
I think this is going to be the first time that I'll have actually been at Epcot for quotes on quotes a festival.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Literally the first time?
Well, yes, because I mean I've been there at Christmas before, but I don't really count that. But I've not done Food and Wine. I've not done Festival of the Arts. So this is like the other one, isn't it? Really. So yeah. But of course, I'm like you, Shell. You know, ex teacher, ex educational worker means that we are restricted as to when we can get out to ye old Disney World, isn't it? So yeah, Flower and Garden, March the 5th to June the 2nd. They've announced the Garden Rocks concert series. You know, that list of bands that we all go, oh my goodness, I must go and see them.
Well,
did you hear the sarcasm in my voice?
well, is there anybody on the list that you've actually heard of, my love?
There's a few.
Okay, so who's going to be in the time zone of when you are there?
Right, so whilst we are there, which is mainly March, we have Tommy DiCarlo, who's a former lead singer of Boston.
Okay, I've heard of Boston.
Yeah. Air Supply 50th anniversary celebration.
How are they still alive? They've been going forever.
Like a lot of these people. Blue October. Not aware of Blue October.
I know of a song called Blue October, or am I thinking of a Blue Moon? I don't know, I'm losing the plot.
Rick Springfield.
Rick Springfield. I always mix him up with Bruce Springsteen for some reason.
And then there's Herman's Hermits.
I know them because my dad used to like them. Does that say enough about their age?
Well, quite. I think that says it all, doesn't it, really? And that's who's on whilst we're there.
Yeah.
So
Any other big names?
Well, I think not really. No, tell a lie. I think it gets through. So we've got Sugar Ray in April. There's this ELO sort of partnership. It's called the Orchestra, starring ELO and ELO Part 2 former members. It's obviously a mashup of people who've been in ELO at some point or other. There's a Flock of Seagulls.
Oh, I know them, and they link in very nicely because of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, that's true. Taylor Dane.
Tell it to my heart.
Yeah, you see. These are just the ones that... Plain White Tees, John Cicada. The Spinners, I'm just picking ones that I kind of recognise the name of. The Pointer Sisters.
Oh, I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. That's them, isn't it?
Yeah, that is them. Yes, correct. There's Don Felder, who's formerly of the Eagles. I've obviously heard of the Eagles before. And that, I'm up to May now. Into June, and we finished with a band called We the Kingdom. Never heard of.
But I suppose some of our listeners might have, so please educate us.
Yes, these. I mean, I think this is probably the classic thing of these are probably a lot better known in the States than outside of the States, shall we say. So just waiting for the food booth to be announced next. But we shall, I'll keep my eyes peeled for that one.
I think sometimes with these concerts, you just get into the sort of like zone of it, and it's just that experience of seeing a live band. So
this is very true,
maybe you might waver, I don't know, but if you don't want to have to wait in an incredibly long line to see some of these bands, you may wish to consider a dining package where you can go and eat at one of the many Epcot eateries and have a piece of fine dining delight and enjoy paying a little bit over the normal price because you get that guaranteed seat.
Yeah.
And it's roughly about $15-ish extra that they're sort of putting on, depending on what you order. So, for example, Beer Garden, if you just went in and paid for Beer Garden, you are looking at $49, though if you pay for it through this package as an adult, it's $66. So it's not cheap, especially if you're considering Le Cellier at $99.
Yeah, I think it's obviously, I think we've said this before though, when we've had these dining packages for like the candlelight and things like this, it's a case of if there's somewhere that you'd really like to eat and it coincides with a with an event that you really want to go to, then great. But then just make sure that you make best bang for your buck out of it.
Yeah, because some of them aren't great value. Like if I was going to eat at Via Napoli, would I be ordering $63 of food?
Probably not.
The same probably with Nine Dragons, $59 of Chinese food for one person.
Yeah, it's a lot of food.
Yeah, so I think if you play around with the menus and have a look and see where the best value is for you, if you are considering this, then it's a good thing because it can save you that painful time of waiting and you know you're going to see the group you want to see. But if you are going, let us know.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's that thing, isn't it? If there's a particular artist out there that are on your must-see list, then take advantage.
Absolutely. Wow. So moving on to one of my things that I have brought to the table this week, literally, is I've been asked the question about where should we go to get the best value at a buffet-style meal in Walt Disney World.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm all ears now, yeah.
For me, I'm all about the value, and I have got some absolute corkers for you, Jane, that I personally think are incredibly overlooked places that people just sort of think, yeah, I'm not going there. And then I've got some comparisons for if you wanted to do the character service as well, because sometimes some of these buffet places link up with characters. It's a great place for you to get character pictures and to meet some of the harder to meet characters without having a long queue, make your little princess daughter happy, your Mickey fans happy, but it does come with a price. So I've got a few places I'm just going to go through.
Mm-hmm.
If you have somebody who is a Stitch and Lilo, or Lilo and Stitch fan, then you can't go wrong with the breakfast at Ohana.
True, yeah.
It is incredibly expensive, however, you are going to get those characters.
Yeah.
On the flip side, for the dinner, there are no characters. The price point is $65, but it is all you care to enjoy.
Oh, okay.
Now, for $65, you get the pineapple bread, you get the dumplings, the chicken wings, you get the salad, you get the never-ending meats, you get the noodles, the veggies, and then the to die for pudding. Mm-hmm. My only issue is with Ohana is they are constantly trying to turn that tables, and sometimes you may feel a little bit pushed out of the door.
Right, okay, yeah.
So for me, it's not a top tip to go there.
Okay.
Another character place over at the Animal Kingdom is Tusker House. I think at the Tusker House you're going to be guaranteed a little bit more of a quirky arrangement of foods. Some of them have got that lovely African spice, so it's things you might notice but with a twist.
Right, yes.
$64 for dinner, so again, unless you're a massive Donald Duck wanting to see him in his safari suit, I don't see the value.
No.
Another one over at Epcot, thinking about the princess-loving people. Akershus, $69. You're not going there for the food. You're going to go there for the priceless princess moments. But it's still not one I'm going to recommend.
It's all that added cash for the benefit of getting characters, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was quite interesting. Just after COVID, we went to Ohana and it was $25 for breakfast and there were no characters, and do you know what, it was the best value ever. And we did the same over at Cape May and we had the breakfast there and it was the same price. Now it's almost double that for the characters, and I don't see the value, because if I want to meet a character, I'd like to have a nice backdrop and not to see a child in the background picking the nose, eating the dinner with the mouth open, or being told off by a parent, or even sat there doing the right thing, because I don't want a random stranger in my character pictures. So
yeah,
for me, I don't like these type of experiences where there is that possibility of other people in the background. Whereas if you compare it with over at Artist Point at Wilderness Lodge, where you have the Snow White themed meal, Yes, it's
Yeah.
not a buffet, but you can ask for additional servings of things, just a top tip. But you have a staged photo with the evil queen and Snow White and a couple of dwarfs, normally dopey and grumpy, wander around. So, anyway, I'm
More
digressing.
controlled. Yeah.
Hollywood Studios have Hollywood and Dine. That's $63. Again, it's that character premium. So unless you have a character fan, I'm going to veto all of these and I'm going to go with my trio of recommendations. So,
Ooh,
drum roll.
okay.
In third place is a place I won't go to because the cuisine does not fit with my palate or appetite. It is going to be Beer Garden. But for many, this $49 experience gives entertaining music, delightful food, plentiful food, and it's great for people who like a fairly simple diet because the food isn't what my mum would say, mucked around with, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, you can find something that you're going to like at that type of eatery. My
Yeah.
second one gets a lot of bad press, and I don't understand why, because in my mind, this is one of the best value meals you can get in the Magic Kingdom.
Go on.
$44, Liberty Tree Tavern.
I thought that's what you're going to say, yeah.
I would be going at lunchtime, a late lunch, and I'd be stocking up on my declaration salad, nice and simple. Patriots platter, it's got all your meats, it's got your stuffing, your mac and cheese, your mashed potatoes, your veggies, gravy. You can have extra stuff on top of it if you want more meats because it is all you care to enjoy. And then if you aren't already having the meat sweats, ooey gooey toffee cake. How can you not enjoy that?
Well, like you said though before, it's kind of standard fare. It's good old fashioned food, isn't it? It's nothing it's gonna please a lot of people. If you've got fussy eaters amongst your group, I would suspect that everybody's going to be catered for there, aren't they?
And it also has a really good plant-based option. You can have a salad, plant-based. You can have the Impossible meatloaf, and they have with that a mushroom gravy, vegetables, mashed potato, and they even cater with a different dessert, which is the Johnny Appleseed's warm apple cake with caramel and whipped topping.
There you go, you see.
So I just can't see any better value because you can go to a quick serve and spend the best part of $20 and get food, whereas you can go here and get a really good face feed, add on your tax and gratuity, it's still coming out at a reasonable price point, under $60.
And it's likely to keep you full for a good length of time.
And to be honest, the food I've just mentioned, that main course, is a lot better for you nutritionally than having a burger.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But it's not my favourite place.
Okay, so where's your favourite place, Michelle?
Sebastian's at Caribbean Beach.
Ah.
This is just never full when I've been. And do you know what? It is amazing. I think this is the best in Walt Disney World for a family style, all you care to enjoy meal.
Right, okay.
The surroundings are delightful, a taste of the islands. It's very chill, bright and clear, sort of crystal clear inside. It's $39 per adult plus tax and gratuity.
That's a good price.
I know. And that also includes a non-alcoholic beverage. You've got your buttery house-baked pull-apart rolls. And these aren't just your bog standard rolls. They come with guava butter and caramelised onion jam. This jam is so good, I'd like to bath in it. It's so good. Can you imagine a bathtub of that guava butter and onion jam and you're just dipping the rolls in to have a little munch? Oh my word, Jane, they are sensational. And
Right, okay.
when we were there, we said to the cast member, could we possibly have some more of the caramelised onion jam so that when we got our main meal, we could enjoy that as well?
Nice.
Yeah. You get a Spice Island necklace salad, and this is really good. It's got some tropical fruits in it, it's got greens in it, spiced candied pumpkin seeds, key lime dressing. It's very light, it's very zesty, it's delicious. They then offer a taste of the Caribbean, and you get oven roasted chicken with tamarind barbecue sauce, a slow cooked mojo pork with mango sambal, chili rubbed beef with roasted red pepper chimichurri, and baked fish with citrus butter.
Nice.
All of it is amazing. For me, the standout one is the beef.
Right,
It
okay.
is sensational. You also get rice and beans, seasonal vegetables, and candied plantains,
Okay.
which is phenomenal. You can add bits and pieces because they are wanting to upsell you, so you can add on some zesty prawns or some fried coconut shrimp or a crab and seafood cake. You don't need to. And if you are plant-based, they do a plant-based version of all of this. And I think this place is the most underrated place for a plant-based eater, because this is the plant-based version. You have an impossible kebab, fried jerk tofu, plant-based sausage, and Caribbean fish cake, obviously not fish, served with the similar accompaniments. So if you are dining with maybe another couple that are plant-based and you're not, or just one person in your party is, they can have virtually the same sort of food as you, but be safe in the knowledge that they're following through their plant-based diet. And
True.
that sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, that all sounds really nice.
I've not got to the best bit.
Would this be the pudding aspect,
Yeah.
Michelle?
The chef who is there was, I believe, over at Hahana, and he has brought with him the coconut pineapple bread pudding,
Ooh.
served with caramel sauce and vanilla ice cream. And they do offer a plant-based version as well, with vanilla soy frozen dessert on top of the bread pudding.
Nice.
That is sensational. And at that price, Jane, you tell me where you can get that amount of food for that price.
Yeah. Well, I'd say it's the price when you said kind of jumped out at me. I thought, well, that's kind of unbelievable, really, for a Disney World restaurant.
And if you were spending the day at Epcot or Hollywood Studios, how easy is it to get on the Skyliner?
Nip over, yeah.
It's not that difficult. You get to have a nice little wander through Caribbean Beach, which I love their gift shop because I always find something a little bit different that isn't anywhere else. They also have a nice range of speciality Caribbean rums available on the menu as well, so you might want to enjoy of an adult beverage while you are eating.
Nice idea.
So guys, are you going to take me up on the challenge? Try out this amazing Eatery, Sebastian's Bistro over at Caribbean Beach, and let me know what you think of it. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this week's podcast. As usual, you can find us on those socials at DisDreamGirls, on Instagram in particular. You can also email us, info@DisneyDreamGirls.com. We will also be recording a special show for our Patreons in the next couple of days. But until next time, it's a goodbye from me.
And bye from me.